Right.
So like when I go in to a track, my special sauce is like, depending on the microphone I have, I'm about here. And this goes about there.
Yeah.
And
That's going to do that to it right now. Then we're going to have this effect.
oh yeah, maybe. Well, then just turn it off.
It doesn't bother me. I've never used it. I've never used it.
Oh yeah, you should play around with that. Like, and there's I have
I never used it before.
I've got a plugin that I purchased called Crumple Pop.
Oh, this is kind of gross.
Sorry.
Fuck, dude.
Thanks, dude.
Gross. Cheers, man.
Appreciate it.
My brother left these behind.
I was like, no, there's no way. And like, he can hear me fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm just watching these numbers. This thing
Oh,
here.
see,
so
I hear you really nice.
Yeah, so-
in there, but like
talk into yours.
Yeah, I'm here. It feels like I need to get.
I can hear you great.
Deeper in. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I just need to turn the volume up. Oh yes, there you go. Oh yeah.
That's louder.
Yeah, I don't know. You sound a little bit louder, but it's all good.
Oh, you want?
That doesn't matter.
It's because I go like right to the microphone.
Just eat it.
I have it. Yeah.
Eat.
I'm scared of the.
Eat it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna lean on it all night.
Yeah, man, it makes your voice sound better. So when I first started, I had those.
You're listening to Casual with
Oh, yeah.
Ryan Proctor.
Oh yeah, well, hey, Mark Warner, thanks for coming on my show, man.
Yeah, cheers,
Right on, dude.
Sorry it's taking me so long.
That's okay, man. It's worth it.
We've been talking about it for a long time.
Yeah.
Ever since you started a podcast.
Yeah,
I was
sure.
like, oh no way, because you were on mine in like my 11th episode. It was the 23rd of January.
You don't remember the day?
Well, I just looked.
Nice.
I just looked. It's 23rd of January, 2014. It was my 11th episode.
2014, 10 years ago. Damn, son.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I remember that it was for Arc'teryx Academy or Deep Winter? Deep Winter.
It was Deep Winter, and we were following around. I was following around Zoe Lynch.
Right.
And then you guys were. I don't know if Whistler Blackcomb was sponsoring me then yet or not, but Arc'teryx was my very first like financial gain for the podcast.
That's pretty.
And
sweet.
you helped facilitate that.
Oh yeah, man.
And
sweet.
then you're like,
rad.
he's like, I'll come and talk on the podcast, and I was like, oh yeah, whatever. He's paying me. Fuck yeah, absolutely.
I thought it was pretty fun, man. I hadn't been on one before, but
you were very. I know. I remember this specifically.
I was pretty like straight about.
Yes, as soon as the mic turned on, you went from that to. Yes, I think that
really?
Like to full on like NPR. I remember that specifically.
Damn.
And then as soon as it went off, you were like, it's almost like I turned a dimmer switch on as soon as the microphone went on.
I was just shy, man.
Well, also you were doing it for work too, I think.
Yeah.
So you were doing it on like behalf of
When you can't
Arc'teryx.
say, you can't say crazy shit. Yeah, well, that's 10 years ago. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of like, I remember when we talked, and I was like, man, I'm gonna start doing video. And I didn't realize I've never seen a video podcast before. I guess I had other ones like Rogan, those guys.
There weren't really many at that point in time. I didn't even start thinking about doing video podcasts until about 2018, 2019.
Right.
And I've been thinking about it,
Right.
but I don't know how any of this stuff works. And with that time, I was still full time at my other job, so this was like a hobby.
Right.
And it's just, you know how much work this shit is. Like this is a hobby for you, and it's a lot of work.
You know what helps is just not editing, just letting whatever you do.
Yeah, I can't do that, man. I'm like, I'm trying. Like, like when I started it, I was like, this is the only one. This is the first one. I'm like, I can see this being something.
Yeah.
Like, I want to create a new.
What did you record on the first time you did a podcast?
Everything I have now. Everything I still record on.
Same shit.
Yeah, like one of my best friends that I grew up with, he plays in bands ever since we were teenagers.
Yeah.
And so I went and bought one of those Yeti Bullet kind of microphones.
Oh yeah, the blue ones, whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah. So
like
exactly.
old school like radio style.
Yeah, the pill, the pill looking one.
Yeah, yeah.
Because you could put it in the middle of the table, and it would get. Oh, sorry.
Shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna have those little ruffles out either.
It would get everybody.
Yeah.
That's all right. It would get everybody.
Yeah.
Like around the table. So I was telling him that, and he's like, "Oh, dude, I got a microphone for you." And I was like, well, I got 4. He's like, well, I don't use them anymore.
Right.
So I went to his like recording space, like his rehearsal space,
Yeah.
and they like went through and found some milk crates and these like really nice Apex microphones. I don't know if that means anything. It didn't mean anything to me. I just say
Cool.
whoever's listening might know about microphones.
Sick.
And so I got 4 of them.
Oh.
So I went and bought little mini tripods.
Yeah.
And these like microphone clips that screwed onto the tripod.
Yeah.
And that's how I did all my episodes to start.
Oh, because you have the Zoom thing, so you can do like 4 people at once, right, with 4 different tracks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Did I have it when I started?
I remember that thing actually.
I don't know if I had it when I started.
Right.
I recorded onto something. What did I record onto?
It was when you came to do the one with me. It was on the little Zoom thing, little box.
It was the box.
Yeah. For
okay.
Sure. But just 2. I think it just said 2 mics. I don't remember. But it was the box for sure. Yeah. It was silver or something.
Oh, silver.
I don't remember. Just making it up, I guess. But
no, I think I
it was the box though.
To be honest, I think I had. Yeah, I think I had like a little recorder.
Yeah.
Like a little handheld recorder.
Maybe.
That I plugged into a. I don't remember.
Man, I used to have.
Oh, because we did it in the Arc'teryx office.
Yeah.
So I probably would have brought that little handheld one.
Yeah, whatever that
and
was.
I don't know, and figured it out somehow.
Have you ever used? I just bought some lapel mics, some Hollyland lapel mics.
I have a couple Rode mics.
You do, eh?
Yeah, a couple Rode Go 2s or something. I bought them last year. I've only used them once.
Are they? Because the Hollyland ones, they're decent. They're like kind of the poor man's Rode ones. But have you ever? Do you use them much? Do you think it's like I don't know?
I've only used them twice.
Oh yeah. I want to do a cooking show with them.
Oh, we should chat. I have a good idea. I have a cooking show that I'm working on right now.
Sweet.
What's yours called?
I don't know yet.
What's it about?
Just cooking stuff in my kitchen.
That's the show name right there.
Yeah, I know,
just cooking stuff in my kitchen with Ryan Proctor. Yeah. You could get another one of these, and you could like unravel it, like unfurl it, like pull a thing and have it unroll, and be like, all right, now on this episode.
Throw a bib. What do you call those things? Not a bib. What do you call that too?
An apron.
Apron. That's right. Throw an apron on. Sorry, what were we talking about? Before that, I just totally cut you off.
We were talking about cooking shows.
No, right before that. We're talking about microphones and stuff.
Oh yeah, Mike. So yeah, my buddy gave me all those mics, and I had like a little handheld recorder that I did on Hill episodes with. I think that's 100% what I would have brought down.
Yeah, probably.
And I have another version of that which I used today, and then it was that's from the very start. He gave me a mixer. He gave me that, and I think it got to where it is because of him. Because he gave me that, it was just good timing.
Right.
Everything kind of fell into place.
Yeah.
Even like the idea of the show, everything was just right timing, right place, right time, and I just took advantage of it. I feel pretty lucky about that.
It's pretty sweet, man. I think like how many episodes do you have now?
Oh,
because you in seasons, right? You don't.
Yeah, no.
Just
I do
for low
200 numbered 252.
That's decent,
and
man.
then
that's pretty good.
Not so bad. And then I just do them in
a lot of work.
Yeah, so much work.
How many hours does it take you to do?
It's taking longer
to edit a podcast.
It's taking longer now.
Why is that?
Because I'm doing more. I keep adding
the double camera thing.
Tasks
scares me to do right now.
It's pretty simple, actually. It's not much more. It's not much.
I guess you just lay the.
You got to spend the hour and a half, whatever. So you have an hour and a half or an hour episode. Yeah. It's gonna take you an hour and a half to hour and 45. If you're I'll go through both camera angles. I'll put it into Premiere Pro, and then you go into multi-camera editing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then both the screens, or you just go either one or two to switch back and forth, or you just click on them and switch them back and forth whenever someone talks. So what I do is I record the audio, which is the most important, but then also the video. And then what I do is I take the audio and I put it into GarageBand, and I put on the special sauce.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What we were just talking about.
Yeah, the stuff I don't do.
Right, so I go into each track and I make sure the person's voice sounds like solid. I remove any background noise, that sort of stuff.
Oh, dude.
And then I take that clip and the 2 video clips and I just throw them into Premiere Pro, and you just create like a project.
Right. Yeah.
And you can actually you can synchronize everything into it to the audio track. So automatically it's the good audio, which the 2 videos attach to. Yeah. And then from there I just switch back and forth between camera angles.
Right.
And then while I'm doing it, I write my show notes. So it'll be like at 12 minutes 37, we start talking about giraffes. And at 17 minutes, we start talking about,
So what's that for? Though, what do you do with that? What do you put?
Show notes on the descriptions for YouTube.
Oh right,
the podcast directory and stuff.
I gotta start doing that too.
You don't have to. I'm an insane person when it comes to like detail and adding and offering more Like I just need there to be a lot going on. Like if you want to go and watch the show, I want there to be like detailed notes. I want you to be able to watch it. I want you to be able to like go and pick chapters. I want you to look at the descriptions and get links to stuff that's within the show.
Right.
And then I want that to be able to tie back to the Instagram stuff that I know I have in my head, or the social media stuff that I got in my head.
Right.
And then be able to like it's just so much. Like I just have to keep making it better.
Well, it's good work ethic, man. I just don't want to, like, the editing thing.
Stupidity, stubborn
I don't think
stupidity.
So.
It's just so much time. It just takes so much time.
I guess I just take the audio and the video and sync them up, and then
I bet you I could do that and no one would fucking notice.
Do you notice, like, I don't know what this is about, when you record the audio on this and then you use the video from your phone, they don't sync up. At some point, they're out of whack. I do it in iMovie, and at some point, if I just sync up the beginning of the track and I go to the end, it's out of whack. So
it just depends on what their recording speeds and stuff are too, right?
Yeah, I just haven't looked into it.
But it has happened before. But it's because you say you have two cameras and one's on like the frame rate of like 29 something,
right?
And the other one isn't exactly right.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's off. It's not great, but Premiere Pro does it, just sorts it out pretty easily, pretty quickly.
Right.
Plus, I don't record right onto the computer. I've been thinking about it,
right?
Just because it would eliminate a step, like a big step,
right,
of having to like move the card back and forth.
You know what's annoying is having to do AirDrop to my computer.
Oh, it takes a while.
Sometimes they just stop.
Oh yeah, maybe you need a new computer or need to just turn it off, clean all the shit off, and then turn it off, and just turn it off and on and restart it from the beginning so it's all fresh and crisp.
That's what I do for sure. All right. We were talking.
How does this go? Do you ask questions, or are we like?
No, I don't ask questions. That was a long intro. We kind of.
That was it's an intro.
Well, it was a long.
I thought that was part of the show.
It was part of the show. I guess we already introed, but what did I want to ask you about? Because we were talking about
podcasts.
Oh no! So like, I was just saying to you earlier, the first time, I guess I knew you, but man, you brought me some shredded chili.
And chicken.
Yeah, sorry,
I was making I was making shredded because I heard
and
that
I was fucked up.
Because I don't know. I don't know if we've ever actually.
Know me then.
I don't know if we'd ever really met or even know you that much.
No.
But you basically broke your face off.
Yeah, but it was
in the States, and then someone was telling me, I'm like, oh, that's brutal, man.
Fuck.
And then someone was telling me that you're like the plate in your face and all of your you wired jaw and you can't eat anything for a while. And I was like, I've got this stuff in here. I'm like,
good, man.
And I started thinking, I'm like, what would I do if I had a broken jaw? And I'm like, what would you eat? Like, what would you do? And I'm like, oh, I would eat this. And I was like, oh, wait, I got tons of this. Maybe I'll just bring it to him because he'll probably like that. He's probably having a tough time.
Yeah, it was a dope gesture, man. Thanks.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago. I remember that though. It's good because when you come by, I'm like, oh yeah, right. Probably hasn't been here since.
Yeah. I think, same place.
Yeah, sweet, nice. Okay, so
how's everything? Does it feel? Is it affected when you're like it's cold, or do you know some people know when it's going to start raining?
Yeah, like when they go make Bones Creek or something. Yeah. When the rain. No, not really. I think when it first happened, it did the first couple of years, but now I don't
notice anymore.
I think they're pretty small plates, so it's not like.
Well, can you ever get them out?
No, I think they're grown over by now.
Oh, because it's in the cartilage. Is that why?
No, it's in my cheeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but I just remember that was like.
Are they like? Can you feel like?
I never talked about this on my show before.
Can you feel like the edge dropping off? Do you know what I mean? Like if there's a plate, can you go and like?
Oh no, that's like, dude, they're like smaller than ski boot screws. Like the whole thing, it's micro tiny. Like if you see it on an X-ray, I couldn't even. I mean, my cheeks are bumpy. There's some shit going on there for sure. But I can't feel that.
No,
I mean that'd be insane. I think I don't know, but
Who knows?
I don't know. It was like 10 years ago. It was crazy, man. Yeah. So what you're going? You're doing the Freeride World Tour. You follow that around, right?
Yes. Kind of. So I've So next week is the FWT Kicking Horse. So I've been going. I've been a fan of the Freeride World Tour for a long time.
Of course, yeah, for sure.
And through the podcast, I started to go there.
That's pretty sweet.
To events, just because when I go to an event, I can get a handful of episodes done because I like to do them all in person, right?
Yeah.
So, I've kind of exhausted a lot of my potential guest pool for kind of the quality and the caliber of guests that I like to have on the show.
Yeah.
Like within Whistler, I've got most of them.
Yeah, right. There's only so many people here.
True.
Yeah.
So I got to get episodes. So
Right.
I'll go to an event. Like I started going to an event to FWT. So I'd go and watch and see the event, and then they'd take care of me. It's like a media contact. It was pretty cool. Like I'm like, oh, look what I'm doing. Look at that. You know,
good for a podcast.
Yeah, you're super stoked to do all this cool shit, right? Like I'm not a good enough skier to be able to go and do this stuff or get this opportunity. So I made that opportunity kind of thing.
Go hang out.
Yeah, so exactly. Go hang out.
You're like, here.
Go hang out and get a bunch of episodes done. And then if I can get 2 or 3 or 3 or 4, that's a month of content that I don't have to like scramble for every week, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing that. And then during COVID, I was watching...
I was still doing podcasts then.
I was watching... It was 2020, so I was watching the show. Yeah. I was like... So Freeride World Tour was all exclusively just the like a skeleton crew because they went to a couple events. It was just riders, just people that worked there. That's it.
Right.
So I was watching it on YouTube and watching it on the website.
Yeah.
And do you remember that app Clubhouse?
Yeah.
That came out so you could have like live podcasts with people on the app. So I was starting to host
I remember that.
FWT conversations.
Yeah, right. I remember that. Yeah.
So I'd have a bunch of people in there, and we'd all be talking about. Some of them went like 4 or 5 hours.
Jeez, man. About skiing?
No, about the Freeride World Tour, the event that like just happened.
Right.
So you could go because I watched it and I would like make notes and stuff. But you can also go on their website and watch any event, and you can like highlight. You can go straight to each rider's runs. So it has their names and their scores. Really? So you click on it and it goes right to their run. And then they have a little legend underneath with like stars where it's like big crash or big backflip.
Really?
Yeah, and then you can go at all the winning runs. So you can like literally click through the whole. It's so great.
That's dope.
So I was going through there and I'd be talking to people like everybody pull their computer out.
Yeah.
And you can go and watch it. So I was talking about what I thought about this person doing his run and then people would chime in and we would talk about it, and then people listening would be like they could ask questions. So it was really fun. It was this really neat kind of like interactive panel on talking about the tour, kind of like sports radio almost, right?
I mean, it's kind of like live commentary, but the event happened.
Well, yeah, post event commentary, like analysis, like event analysis, right?
But I mean, like everybody can chime in. It's kind of like the whole group discussion, right? It's like pretty.
Yeah, super cool. Super cool.
I bet you it gets rowdy in some of those chat rooms.
Oh, some of them. Yeah, I don't listen to that. I don't listen to that app anymore. But it was good during COVID just to like connect with people, right?
I wonder what happened to that app.
Who knows? Probably didn't make it.
I mean, I think it's
COVID ended.
Yeah, and it's like everybody now can just talk.
Yeah, so I ended up doing that, and it was fun. And then one of the guy who's currently doing like the communications there, I knew because I'd been the last couple of seasons. He's like, "Hey, like let's work together. Let's do something together." I'm like, "Absolutely, I'm in. What do you want to do?" She's like, "Well, how about like a Twitch show or something like that?" I'm like,
"Oh yeah, right."
I was like, "What's Twitch?"
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how about I do a podcast? And he's like, oh, this is a great idea. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's like kind of what I do.
That's cool.
So I had the idea to do it kind of like sports radio. Like, you know, Derek Foose?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Foose founded the Whistler Freeride Club, and he's also a broadcast announcer for the FWT.
Right.
And I've known him for forever. So I was like, hey, Foose, I got this idea. I want to talk about the tour, and et cetera, et cetera. So we put together a podcast for them, and worked with them on that, and then recorded like 10 episodes, and it was like deep analysis. So we'll do like, we set up the season. These are the riders the wild card riders and the athletes that are returning, and just information that you need to know for someone who doesn't know.
Right.
So that you can listen to it and then be like, oh, cool, I'm into the season. So it's basically set up for the season.
Okay.
And then every time they do an event, we would do an event recap. We'd go through all of kind of the stuff outside of the competition, like it went early or it went late or the snow was weird or you know,
so
there was
doing event coverage.
Exactly.
Sweet.
And then we talk about every category and the runs for each of the podium, and then anything else that was special or exciting. So we did that it's called the Freeride World Tour podcast. We did it for 2 seasons, and they were stoked on it. And then this year, I think last year they lost a sponsor. This year, they were like, we want to change the format.
Right.
And I was like, why would you do that?
Sounds like a death sentence.
Yeah, and I was like, why would you change the format? They're like, we want to do more long form kind of interview stories. And I was like, at episodes, I'm like exactly like I do with the Low Pressure podcast. They're like, no, it's a little different. I'm like, that's fine. Right. So I said, here, look at this.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll spare you the long story, but I basically gave them a proposal. I was like, hey, we can do that, but add it to the show that's already there because you've already created an audience for 2 years, right?
Right. Yeah.
And they're like, no, I don't think so. I think it just was money. I think they just want to pay me, but whatever. It doesn't make sense why they wouldn't want to do a show. So they ended up changing the name of the show, which I thought was dumb.
Wait, so you don't? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
But it's a good name. It's called the No Fall Zone. And they do long form episodes,
right?
And they're good. They're decent.
Cool.
But so now I'm like, well, I'm still going to do that show.
Right.
It's really good. We spent 2 years creating an audience. I'm like, it's really, really good. So I talked to Foose. I'm like, do you still want to do it? He's like, yep. We checked in with them. Is it cool if he does it? Because we didn't want to get him in trouble or cause any problems.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, go for it. And then we just launched it a few weeks ago. It's called the Freeride Guide.
Yeah, nice.
And it's going great.
Yeah.
It's super fun. I'm super proud of it. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah, that's rad.
So that's kind of the whole thing with the FWT.
Right.
And I'm heading out there next week for the Golden event.
That's pretty sweet, man. So you go to every event now, and you don't have to go?
No, because I don't work for them anymore.
No, but so
I went to 4 of the 5 last year.
Okay, right.
And then like 2 the year before, and then this year, the first 2 got canceled. And then they added one in a different country.
Didn't they move one at the very last minute?
Yeah. So they were supposed to go with Spain and Andorra, and they had good starts to the season, but they got warm, and it rained a bit, and then it got warm, and so they just couldn't really hold a comp. And they're like 50 kilometers away from each other by the crow flies, so it's like same weather pattern. Uh-huh. So they canceled one, but they weren't sure what the other one, and then they just added a comp in Verbier, which is where they do their final every year. So the logistics are there. They know exactly how to set it up. They're just like, so they kind of saved it.
So what stop is it then that they're in Verbier right now?
That was the first one this year.
Okay, so they're going to go back for the final there again?
Yeah, the final's always on the Verbier.
That'd actually pretty cool if they do it 2 times in the same year. The people kind of have lines.
Different venue, though. So there's it's called the Bec de Ross. It's this huge venue, and then it's super steep and rad. And then right beside it is called the Petit Bec.
Okay.
They did it on the smaller one, which is still a big venue.
Right.
But yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's sick. I think I'd love to go check that out sometime.
Should, man. It's really fun.
Yeah.
One year I went to one in Austria.
Yeah.
And they have like a weather window that they can run it through. Yeah. And looks like it was going to start raining and getting crappy. So they're like, we need to do it like the day before.
Yeah.
So they scrambled, they got everything together, and I flew in that day. So I ended up watching it from the airport in Munich.
Nice.
Before I could transfer, I was like, well, so I got there just in time for the party, and then I had like a week and a half in Europe with like nothing to do. I had no plans. I'm like, all right.
That's rad. What it's like, man, it sucks if like doesn't snow and it's kind of like they're like they're considering not running it and they run it and you're like, fuck, it's gonna be.
They've spent the last 2 full seasons struggling with unfortunate conditions, garbage snow, and it's leaked into the 3rd season. They haven't had like 2 or 3 consistent events in a row.
Yeah, it must be interesting to have it where it just like chases the storm.
Yeah, there's so many logistics though. Like
they
have so many people that work there,
right?
And they have so many many riders, and it's just logistics of
it's hundreds of people, probably thousands. If
not, no. It's like
a couple hundred.
Yeah. If that.
But people who
150
go,
maybe.
How many people go to watch them? Like, is there venues usually you can watch them from? So
yeah. Oh my god.
Get busy. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, the Verbier one's cool because it's right at the top of this gondola.
Yeah, the gondola. The camera keep going.
Oh yeah, it's on.
I wish I need to go. You do is just put a mirror back here so I can.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, from the
you can see it in the, too far away. You see it in the glass.
Yeah. So so I was just saying, so they couldn't follow the snow.
No, in theory it'd be awesome, but they can't. It's just impossible. The amount of things that you have, the logistics around the people that make it happen. Even just like booking rooms in a place like that, you know what I mean? Like, how are you going to get rooms for 150 people?
It's sick that it's still going though, considering like the economy and stuff and skiing and everything else. It's still sick that it's like.
I know they lost a big partner. They had Audi, I think.
Oh no shit.
For a while.
Yeah.
Is it Audi? Anyways,
was Suzuki part? Wasn't Suzuki
No,
sponsor some ski event somewhere?
Probably.
Oh, the 9 Nights or something like
That's Audi too. It used to be Audi, now it's Swatch. Oh, that's right. It used to be the Audi 9s.
I thought Suzuki part.
It used to be the Audi 9s and the Swatch World Tour.
Okay.
And then what was it? No, it was the Swatch ski Freeride World Tour and the Audi 9s.
Yeah.
And then they switched. And then Audi went to FWT and the Swatch is doing like the 9s, the Nights. What are you typing in? Oh, I should do this on my show. Be able to like look stuff up.
Suzuki sponsors FIS World Cup Ski Championships. I thought when was that? Oh, the 9 Nines. They did the Suzuki.
Did they 1 year? What year is that?
I think it was early on. It was. I remember seeing because this is like. I saw the S on the side.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So those still go? Remember? Did you ever go to Knowlton Super Sessions?
No, I never did.
No.
No.
Oh,
that was I think before I was never never that interested in like park
right.
rider, park skiing.
Right.
I just pay attention, but I wasn't a big like X Games guy.
It's probably also like 15 years ago, I guess.
Yeah, it was just before. Yeah.
Man, when you go to like a free ride event, do you get to go check out the? Have you been to the top of the course?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I ski a lot.
The kicking horse one. The rest, some of the other ones are just like either gonna get helied to, or it's like a super long boot pack. I know the boot pack up for the one that they just did in Verbier, and the Petit Bec, like they were like it was scary.
You have to boot pack every time, right?
They did.
Just certain parts of it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Not the whole way.
Yeah. That's a good warm up, I guess.
It's like enduro mountain biking. You got to do laps between. Yeah, I wouldn't mind checking that out. It'd be cool. I don't know. I think to myself as a good skier, but watching that shit, I don't know if I
get humbled really quick. I skated with some of them today up on the hill.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, there's a very big difference. I was telling him, I'm like, I'm usually really good. I'm like, what did I say? I'm a really good skier when there's no one around.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I get backseat a lot. Tired legs. I haven't skied like. Fuck, I don't even want to say this. I think I skied like 10 times this year.
Dude, this is the least amount I've ever skied in a year, a healthy year ever, like without question.
Yeah.
And the days I have skied were like, this sucks. I've had 3 good days this year that I've been like, those are fun. Well, it's always fun, but are like 3 days that I remember that I'm like, this is why I live here, you know?
Yeah, even when I have gone, I remember it's fun, then I forget that it's fun because I don't go enough for now. It's fun going.
And then you get up and you're like, this is fun.
Yeah, just sliding around. It is pretty fun, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, then you forget, and you're like 3 days later, like, I should go again. Yeah, that street, though, it's tough this year for sure. I don't know.
It's brutal. Well, it sucks up there.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard and icy and brutal. So it's like, if you're gonna ski on your own, days like today it's hard to go. But if you're skiing with friends and that's like it's social time.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, oh, we're hanging out and have coffee, or we're gonna hang out and have skiing. Like we're hanging out and then there's an activity attached to it. But when you're skiing, it's like, oh yeah, this is great and you have a good time.
Chairlift rides are pretty sweet.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like when in your life, right?
I love talking about skiing.
Yeah, me too. When in your life, right?
Yeah.
And if people that were listening to this aren't skiers and don't live a ski hill or whatever, when in your life do you get to go like do a whole bunch of cool, like do one of the coolest things you've ever done in your life?
Yeah.
And then sit beside each other.
Yeah.
Forced to sit.
You have no choice.
For 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And talk about either that run or the cool thing you just did and basically debrief on how awesome it was.
For sure, yeah.
And then when that's done, you just talk about your lives and like who pulls their phone out on a chairlift.
I think people do, I guess.
Like people that you ski like when you're skiing with people.
Can't really.
People are going to be like, a little bit, but your hands are fucking cold.
Yeah, for sure. And you drop it out the chair.
And it's kind of rude, but that's not a place where your phone is. Like you sit on the toilet, well, that's where your phone is. You sit on the couch, it's just something that you don't really do, I don't think.
Other than a road trip where you're all in the car together.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like mini road trips. every time you go.
That's a good point. I like that. Yeah,
mini road trips.
It's like mini road trips. So like you get this amazing experience
Yeah.
where you're getting exercise, you get endorphins, you're doing like the coolest thing you've ever done in your entire life, and then you're doing it with people that you really like.
Yeah.
And then you all sit down and you talk about how cool it is.
Yeah.
And then you go in and talk about each other's lives, and like you get to talk about what's going on in your life and have that little like sharing moment, those connections that you need.
Yeah.
And then you get to the top and you're like, oh, let's do that again.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah.
It's absolute best.
I
have a huge reverence for chairlifts.
Well, you can see some wild shit go up a chairlift too. Like when you see people skiing, stuff going on, you're just like
eating shit and like
as a skier, it's easy to go like people just watch people just like come marking down the hill with like.
Oh, I saw.
Whack.
I'll show you a video later.
Don't see it too often, but it happens. Man.
We sorry to interrupt. We skied the Cirque today.
Yeah.
And we got to the bottom, and I was with Stan Ray, and he comes by me, and I was like, look out. And there was this chick that lost her skis at the entrance.
Yeah.
And she was bulleting like
fast.
Yeah. She was like on her chest,
yeah,
head first, like blah blah blah, like Jeremy of the Day, like bulleting down the hill.
No shit.
And so she eventually slowed down a little bit, and I was like at the bottom, like out where you can like cut left.
Yeah.
I watched her full on her chest, head first, blast down the hill, like like snow flying, and she slowed down like right near me. And I just kind of like put my hand on her. I'm like,
shit right there.
I'm like, are you all right? And she's like laughing her ass off. You could hear her laughing down the hill. She's like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, holy smokes.
Why do people who fall always fall on the camera person? Like not always, but on a like in that kind of situation, the camera person usually is close to like getting hit.
What there's
it happens a lot.
But to counter that, there's a meme page. I don't know which one it is. I can't remember which site it is, but they have merch now.
Okay.
And it's like the cameraman never gets hurt or something like that, or something along those lines, because the camera guy's always filming it. Nothing ever happens to that dude.
I just think like you see those ones where people, the camera person just gets wiped out by someone skiing or it's trash.
Sometimes.
It makes me laugh. All right, maybe I'm wrong on that.
Who knows?
But yeah, again, you can't.
Well, of course, there's those.
I think it used to be fun with skiing. I don't go like.
Is it still fun? Or it used to be,
sort,
but
sort
still
like way back. Like,
used to be, but still is too.
Still is, yeah. But like back, like I don't know. I guess younger. Like it just seemed like more spring things happened here on the hill.
What do you mean?
It seemed like the spring was more alive, like 10, 15 years ago. And I'm gonna sneeze.
In what? Bless you.
Yeah, on the hill, like as far as like people and vibe and just like things going on. Does that make?
Yeah.
Does that seem right to you?
Yeah. What do you mean, like people having like barbecues?
It seemed more loose. Yeah, like there'd be like maybe I'm just missing because I'm older, but like there's like barbecues in like Seventh Heaven or like people doing stuff like being more like. I guess they shut it down a lot though, but be more like party on the hill.
Yeah, I agree with you, but also we're older now.
That's what I mean.
So that could still be happening. It's just
we
are not plugged into the kids these days.
We should go out there and do like
I was thinking today about a tailgate in like Lot 8. Just get some beers and just tell everybody like through the podcast, be like, hey, come by to Lot 8 in the spring. Come by for a little tailgate. Do
you remember the West Beach? It was like a snowboard race from the top of Whistler to the Creekside Underground.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like the Peak to Creek, I guess it was called. I don't know.
There is a Peak to Creek race.
Yeah, no, but there was the one for snowboarders. And it was kind of like you won. You had to get to the bottom and chug a beer, and you won a big bottle of whiskey. I think it was like West Beach, and it was like maybe it wasn't West Beach. It was like a unsanctioned race. It happened forever, and then Blackham shut it down.
No, that was that was King of the Hill.
Yeah, snowboard one, right?
No. It was
maybe
it's different.
Snowboard one. That was
is it a different one?
Yeah, it was a snowboard one. Then that guy, I remember when I worked there, people would be calling me for tickets and stuff because they wanted to get up, like pros stuff would go want to get tickets, and I'd be like, oh, what for? Like, never mind.
Oh, that's when you were working at Whistler Blackham.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. Yeah,
right.
But it was like it's a pretty popular race. I can't remember what it's called though. But yeah, the King of the Hill. Remember that one from Monster did that at Kicking Horse?
No, it was Fernie, I believe it was
Fernie.
Monster Enemy Lines. Stan
Enemy
Ray
Lines.
won it twice. We
Yeah.
We actually talked about that today.
Really?
Yeah, I was talking to him about that today, and he won them both. He beat Logan by like a couple ski lengths
That's a
when
cool
Logan was a
race.
teenager, and he was so choked.
That's a cool race, man. You don't do that anymore, I guess.
No,
People got
They did it. They did it 2 years. There's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple people that like.
Didn't Matt Elliott break his back or something?
Yeah. Yes.
It's not funny, but yeah.
Something. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Matt Elliott. Thank
Yeah.
you for reminding me.
Yeah.
Yeah. He crushed himself.
Yeah, fuck.
He's good now though.
Yeah, that race sounded so cool, man.
I forgot about that.
He hit that roll or something. But
Yeah, like launched.
I think I saw a video of it, but
Yeah, there is a video of it. You could probably find it.
yeah, it's fucking insane. I think that'd be good. I mean, I wouldn't do that race, but you see shit like the Sedan Couloir race here now and stuff, the gates and everything. That thing looks like that's a fucked up race too. I don't know. It seems like it's just like not like dangerous like that Enemy Lines is,
Yeah.
but like just hard, man.
Yeah, that super grooved out
Yeah,
course. You
yeah.
basically are like sliding into a wall
super
and then
tight.
sliding into a wall.
That'd be insane.
The
On a
whole
snowboard, that
there's
must be
like
rough.
very little flow that you can get through
Yeah.
there. You know.
It must be rough on a snowboard. Yeah, I don't know, man. I hope he gets some snow soon. I want to fucking ski. Yeah.
Me too. I hope Mega March. I was listening to CBC yesterday, and
Oh yeah, what else do you listen to? Listen to CBC? Like what other podcasts should you listen to?
I listen to sports radio, man.
Oh yeah.
I listen to a ton. I listen to a few like celebrity or like kind of podcasts, like
Right.
Joe Rogan once in a while.
Sure. Yeah.
Depends on who the guest is.
Fair enough. Yeah. I'm in on
And
that.
that's one of the reasons I started the show originally.
Right.
So I was listening to Joe Rogan in like 2013 when he first started and was like
Yeah.
super loose.
Yeah.
And I thought like, I want,
Flashlight sponsorship.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if there's a good skiing podcast. So I went looking and I couldn't find one. There wasn't one.
Yeah, I guess not. Eh?
So I went to right before I went to bed. It's like, oh, I should do that.
Yeah.
So I like wrote a bunch of notes that before I went to bed, like 4 pages of notes and
Right.
thoughts, and kind of mulled it over that winter.
Yeah.
And then talked to a few friends that were like, oh, that's a stupid idea. What the hell's a podcast? And then I
Right.
ended up speaking to Macintosh.
Oh yeah, right.
Ian
He's been
Mac-
on my show before.
Has he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I spoke to Ian McIntosh, and we did like a Kybers lap. It was an awesome day. Kybers. We're sitting at Dusty's and getting like a burger and a beer, or pulled pork or something.
Yeah.
And he was sitting beside me,
Pulled pork was good.
and I was like, hey, I got an idea. I'm like, tell me your opinion on this. Tell me your thoughts on this.
Yeah.
So I told him the idea, and he was like, oh, that's a great idea. You should totally do that. And
Yeah.
I was like, right on, man.
Sick.
Thank you. Like, this is what I needed from someone like you.
Yeah.
I needed that. And then I was like, all right, well, you're going to be the first guest on the show. He's like, cool, let me know.
Yeah, rad. Sweet.
And then sure enough, fast forward about 6-7 months, 8
Yeah.
months,
Right.
him and Dirt came on as the first guests.
Dirt. Wow.
And then since then, he's been on episode 100
Oh yeah.
and 200, and I'll probably get him on 3 every 100 I'll do with
That's a good one.
Macintosh.
That's not a bad idea.
And it's really cool because every single episode, it's like 4.5 years apart.
Yeah, right.
Every single one is a very different conversation,
Sure.
and he's a different stage in his life, and he's got different things going on. So it's like you can actually, it's like a documented, like a documentation of this guy's like transition through life. Like,
Right. That's
like
pretty cool.
it's really neat. And
That's for
I
sure.
listen to it too, and I'm like, oh, I sound better, or I'm better at this, or I
Right.
analyze it too. But it's awesome. So I'd
Right.
like to do that every year and kind of keep that kind of thing going.
What gives you motivation to get to 300 at least?
Yeah, I got 2 years.
It takes so long. I go on and off with this thing. I should be way more ahead. But you have other podcasts too, right? You used to do the one with
Yeah.
like a bit of a media thing going on.
So I did that one. The Low Pressure Podcast was the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah.
That was the first skiing podcast ever.
Yeah.
And then
Oh yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. I have something else to
no,
say.
what?
No, I was gonna say what other ski like. There's other ski podcasts. There's probably like 4 or 5.
Oh, there's
that-
lots now.
There's probably like
There's lots and lots now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as ones that are like,
Good.
yeah, that out of podcast came out of they blew up good, eh?
It memes.
It is.
It's because of memes.
Yeah.
Well, okay, a couple things. They're good buds of mine.
Yeah. And
And I tease them too.
it's fun to watch
I
them.
called them the carbon copy of the original. One
Oh,
day they were
jeez.
chirping. Well, I don't know. We were talking. He was down in Utah with
Right.
a buddy of ours, and,
Yeah.
and they were chirping about podcast stuff. And they said something. And I was like, I shut him down quick. But no, he's good at what he does.
Yeah, I like it.
He's got a bit of a team. It's in the East Coast.
Yeah, they're in Massachusetts, right, or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and he is the shop kid. So his family owns. It's called the Colorado Ski Shop,
Okay.
but it's in Boston.
Yeah. They're doing funny shit. Excuse Excuse me. I mean, they're doing it's interesting for sure.
Yeah, so he's also a gear kid, right?
Right.
So they've kind of shifted into like a hybrid between what I do, and like blister review, which is kind of huge in the States. As like
it's big, man. I remember when they came to me, like I think I worked for Arc'teryx, and they were just starting out, and they were like, "We want to get some gloves to show or whatever." And I think our PR person gave us some gloves.
Yeah,
and I didn't think about them forever, and I'm like, wait, blister.
They just had like a summit or whatever,
it got big. I thought it was like just some like
they have a bunch of good shows.
Yeah.
The guy who runs it, can't remember his name. Like
he's on top of it, man.
He's so dry.
Yeah,
like I can't listen to the show
but
just
still,
personally.
Yeah,
but a lot of people resonate for it, and it's focused on like gear and gear reviews, and then that's what Adam with Out of Bounds does really, really well. So a couple things led to it: the consistency. Yeah, he's got a guy that's been editing for him for free for the whole time, so he doesn't put all the work in.
Oh, sick.
His buddy Ethan.
Yeah.
And then he got another guy that had his own show that they just kind of combined it onto the
Adam
same
X or something?
onto the same channel.
Yeah.
So instead of having a bunch of different podcasts, they've put like 3 or 4 on the same feed.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Which is interesting. I did that. I do that a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit with my other shows, like the FWT show.
Good. Yeah. Right.
But so he's combined that, and then also they started doing like really good memes, ski memes, like full on ski memes, and they blew up from the memes.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
I don't make memes. Every once in a while, I think of a meme, and almost every time it's to make fun of them.
Right.
So I'll just send Adam
the
memes that I make. I don't post them. I just send them to him.
Right. That's funny. Yeah, I think if I did memes, I'd probably get in trouble. But yeah, no,
because they'd be a little too spicy, or what?
Probably. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably just. It'd be funny though. I don't know. It'd be funny to have a fake account and just do that, but then
like a burner account.
Yeah.
How about C-Bus memes? It's the greatest.
I stopped following it. I used to.
Oops, sorry, it's amazing. I think
I just had too much.
I think he just won an award or something. I grew up in Vancouver, and you've seen how many.
I'm going to check them. You can keep yelling.
No, it's on. You're good, man. No. Yeah. I'll stop yelling.
Check all the time. No, I think you can keep yelling. It's good.
Oh yeah, no. C-Bus memes is, I think, the best meme. I would, if there was a World Meme Page Awards. Right. I 100% would say C-Bus memes would win it.
What happened to Whistler memes?
He retired, and now it's Whistler Gorb.
Whistler Gorb?
Yeah.
But I saw Whistler memes like came back on a post like a month or two ago.
I don't know
Just
if they
one
did.
random post.
Maybe. Did you read it? Or did it say, hey, I'm not here for good?
It surprised me. I was like, oh. And then I went away again. Now that we're talking about
it. I don't
know. Anyway, Whistler Gorb.
But like that's the thing, though, is like you do a meme page. It's like, what do you get out of it? Like, what's keeping you continuing to do it? C-Bus memes has been doing it for like, what, 5 years?
Yeah, they're big. They have big following too, right?
And they're amazing. The quality of them are hilarious.
Right,
He's like, the guy apparently is like a graphic designer by trade.
Okay.
He's a comedian.
Yeah.
The captions are funny.
Yeah.
He does 10 episodes or 10 memes on a like a scroll every Friday.
Okay.
They're hilarious.
Okay,
the quality of like the meme itself is spectacular.
Sweet.
Have you been watching since he's been doing the Trump, Biden, Barack Obama skits?
I stopped following him like maybe like months ago.
Oh yeah, you should follow him again.
Dude.
It's just and they're so they're clever. They're very similar, but they're clever. Right. I think I laugh at out of 10, probably 2 or 3 that makes me like laugh out loud, like chuckle. Like that's actually really good.
All right. Yeah, there's a bunch of those pages, man. There's only there's really no ski memes. I mean,
there's lots.
Not that I follow.
There's one called like Wasatch memes, which kind of like just makes fun of Cody Townsend the whole time.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't follow.
There's one. There's a handful of ski memes.
I follow pages. Like Lego Ski Bro and stuff like this.
Does he still post? I haven't seen anything from him in a long time either.
True. Actually, I haven't seen that in a long time.
No.
I don't know.
Like I said, it's like to do something like that.
You got to have good fire, though. Like, you got to come out of the gate.
You got to be super stubborn, super stupid, or you got to be making money.
Well, it's got to be good because, like, if you do 10 at a time, I guess, like, just want to do like one a day.
He did an interview in the Georgia Strait, like, I don't know, in the last month, and it was interesting. He talks about, like, how he has to do them a lot. Otherwise, it's like a muscle. You got to keep training to do the muscle. Otherwise, you're gonna get.
It must be so hard to not do the same joke. You got to go back and wait. That sounds familiar.
He does a bunch, but it could be the same joke, but you just use
different
different caption, different picture, different animation, and it's still funny.
It's funny how like I know we're talking about memes right now, but some like you'll see the same one every time, but just different caption, and it's still funny.
Like the guy looking back at the chick meme.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, they'll put like anything. Yeah,
I made one of those for Adam at Outbound. I was so the chick, the girlfriend. It said podcasts over her head.
Yeah,
and then over the dude was out of bounds, and then looking back at the chick, it said memes.
Yeah.
Anyways,
yeah. I mean, you should keep making them.
I don't think of them unless it's that, and I don't want to.
It's hard.
I just don't want to make fun of people as like a thing. Plus, I don't have enough time.
So many, dude. How many do you get sent to you a day?
No one sends me memes.
Oh man,
I just have to find them myself.
I get reels, like yes, it means, but like, man,
like, are you talking about get sent them or shit you see on Instagram?
How much do you get sent them? Like your friends send you stuff. Do you get sent like a ton of reels a day?
No, never.
I get like 20 probably.
Nobody sends me anything.
Oh, it's good because it wastes your time. We kill you. You won't be doing shit with that.
It's true.
It fucking kills your time. Yeah, I think we should do that 5-minute guess.
Yeah, that's a good call.
We should do that.
I'm gonna the idea that I'm gonna steal.
Oh, I think we should discuss it because I think you can use it. I'm gonna use it too. We both use it.
Let's call it something. So let's create it as a thing that you do. Right, like a feature.
Yeah.
And so let's make the name for it.
Yeah.
And then when you do it on your show, you'll call it that name, and when I do it on my show, I'll still call it that name.
Yeah, we just say with host to either one of us.
Yeah, it'll be like this is a segment. It'll just be that segment within that show, right?
We could actually cut highlights, make a highlight reel like every week of the best ones from each show.
That's such a pain in the ass. I do that with my show.
I mean, you could do it. You just take if like you find. You could just cut it out. If you're editing it, when you're doing the edit, you just go, hey, that one's good, you cut it out.
Yeah, it still takes a long ass time.
Yeah,
I'm backed up on 3 episodes. So I take the episodes, I find clips, highlight spots. So as I'm editing them, back to what I was telling you, and writing my show notes, I'll write talking about going to school, talking about winning a competition, but in the middle I'm like, his dad said this, and then if he says a quote, I'll be like, at the time code, I'll go 1821. I'll do a cue and a quote, and then if he's talking about something that's like, maybe for a minute or something, it's a cool little topic. I'll go C as in clip. So then I'll go back and I'll look at my show notes and I'll be like, okay, this is a good quote. So I'll pull a couple quotes and I'll put together a little compilation of quotes.
Dude.
And then with the clips, I'll go and I'll select like 4 or 5 clips out of the hour plus episode.
Right.
And then I will reduce that down. And then I have a guy in Nigeria.
Yeah, tell me about that. Okay, talk to me about that because
Did I tell you about this already?
You just mentioned it when we got here. I totally forgot. I meant to ask you about that.
Yeah, I got a dude in Nigeria that edits that stuff for me. His name's Shinamaram.
And what's it cost you to do that?
It's like $220 a month or something like that. That's what it works out to be. It's like 10. It works out to be like $10 a clip. So I'm putting stuff on like
the package you buy is like for this much you get this.
That's
much back.
just what I pay him.
Okay, cool, sweet.
Yeah, he just does. It's pretty loose.
That's cool.
So I take the clips, I throw them on Google Drive.
Yeah.
I send him an email with the notes, and then he takes them and he puts captions over them and colors them and makes sure they're the right size. And if there's like my clip, so I have a clip that's trained on the guest, and then I have like a wider angle of both of us.
Yeah.
So if I'm talking, he's got to like shrink that clip and like zoom in on me. And then the other one, if it's just the guest, it's just the guest. Right? So he edits it. He does all the bits and pieces, and he sends them back to me. I do a quick spell check.
Yeah.
Because when people are talking about ski stuff, you don't know how to spell. When you live in Nigeria, you don't know how to ski lingo, right?
Yeah.
And then he sends them back. Then he gives me. I do like 3 or 4 per episode, and then I try to post 2 or 3, and then I'm saving a bunch for the summer, so I have summer content.
But you give him the clips you want done.
Yeah.
You have to find those clips, See, that's why I would love to have a producer.
I would love to have somebody do it, like one of the kids from the Whistler Adventure School.
Oh, yeah, right.
The intern program, but I just can't afford to pay an intern yet. So.
I don't think you pay interns, do you?
Yes. Minimum wage.
Oh, right, yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
But probably in a town like this, a little more.
I was like, give someone like $50 an episode to come here and wait and hang out and just do the time codes for me, and then I'll do the rest. Just come and sit here and just be like, okay, follow the show, say Google shit, for 2 hours and then just make timestamps. Oh, okay, go timestamp that, like that kind of shit. Just so when I'm done, I can just go into then. Even if a friend just comes and hangs out and drinks beer and just does that for me. I'd love to find someone who could do that.
What do you need time coded?
Just so if we say, so we don't have to go back and do it after. So like,
how would you know that they'll know how to like put a marker down?
They could just write 10 minutes.
Yeah, no, but I know. But what are they marking?
What do you mean? A pad of paper?
No. Like what?
Oh, things like things that come up, topics in the show.
Right.
So you and I talking right now, right?
Yeah.
They would just write down, like, I'd be like, hey, you could just call
now, would you, so that's the thing.
You could say, hey,
are you going to, like, hit a button under here and have a light go on so he can be like, oh, or is this person watching it and, like, figuring it out?
Us.
All right, well, then you can just, so you don't have to have someone here. You can do that after.
I know, but it'd be fun to have somebody here and just, like, do the shit, like.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely
like
would be. But you think someone's going to do it for $50?
I don't know, probably not.
No.
Yeah, but if you paid an intern or one of the kids from the school to do it, $50 for 2 hours.
Yeah, like you can pay it. Yeah, exactly. You come and do an hourly, but then you're like, you need to be here at 9 o'clock on a Friday night, kind of thing.
It's a job, man.
It's true. Like in theory, yeah, it's a great idea. 100%. I would do it in a second.
Yeah,
but
just make it.
But that's why I was like,
what I'm saying is like you
because you want to have somebody here hanging out with you, or you just want the clips. What's the motive here? Because you're like, I'd like to just have somebody here.
Have you ever had an audience watch yours?
Yeah, a couple times.
Yeah. I think that, but also like if we're talking right now and they're writing down interesting parts or like trying to say, hey, that we talked about this then and when this topic's changed, make notes.
No, that's great.
I would have to do it after. Like I wouldn't have to go through it after.
Yeah, or you could just send it to some guy in Nigeria or India or the Philippines, and he'll watch it and he'll do that for you, and he'll send it back for like $6 an hour US.
Right, for sure. Right. That's not.
But it's the exact same thing. Right. But that's why I was asking you: is the idea of just having somebody here that appealing? Is that what the appeal is?
That's
why I was asking.
A producer, it'd be cool.
100%, it would be. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for
If
sure.
I could afford a producer, if I ever win the lottery, I'm still doing this, but I'm hiring a bunch of people to give them jobs so that they can
even
like,
if I get
make my show
14 views
better.
on a show, I'm still going to spend like $500 a show when I win the lottery.
Yeah, right. Make it like just buy a building and build a studio
so
you can do a podcast for 14 people.
Dude, I got 100 views this week and it cost me $600,000 to get this whole thing set up. That would be sweet. Yeah, that'd be epic. Man, I think how long has it been? Like an hour, maybe? What time was it?
I don't know.
It's like 10 o'clock.
See, you don't have this on hourly.
No.
If you go to here,
this.
yeah, click down and then go to time.
I've never done this before.
Yeah, there you go. 50
nice.
minutes and 57 seconds.
Dope. The other day, I think how long do you try to? I sometimes let mine go forever. And
depends. I aim for an hour.
Yeah.
Like I aim for an hour.
Yeah.
Rarely is it ever less.
And how much do you record? So do you record like an hour and a half and chop it down? Or
No,
right?
No.
You just like edit for like noises and like more like
yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly. Edit for like my dog got up yesterday and like got up on the couch and walked across us, and I was like, "What are you doing right now?"
You don't leave that in?
A little bit on the video.
It's weird in the audio, I guess.
Yeah. On the audio, I take it out. On the video, I like it. So like, Cedar is a part of the show,
right?
Or a part of like, she's got her own Instagram. It's LPP Cedar.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
I make sure she takes a photo with all of my guests. So like,
sweet.
she has photos with like so many ski pros.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's pretty sweet. So
yeah, that's cool.
This year, what I'm doing is I take my guest photos for the thumbnail I create.
Yeah.
And I always get them to take a photo with her. So on the first Instagram post, it'll go like, "Hey, new episode." There's the thumbnail.
The dog's always real.
And then like a clip of them doing something, and then a picture of them with Cedar.
Yeah.
And then people sometimes will send me messages like, "Get Cedar to do, get Cedar on the show more." I'm like, she doesn't talk, man.
Man, I wouldn't go very well.
What's that?
Having a dog on the show?
No. What are you going to talk about?
Yeah, nothing.
Who's a good boy?
Yeah.
You? Okay, yeah, cool. Now what?
Yeah, I think I got to start. I don't know. I don't edit. That's the thing is like I just figured out exactly how to do it, like the basic. And from then I stopped. I just didn't learn anymore. I was like, here's the audio with the video.
Yeah. I only learn stuff if I have to. If I have to solve a problem.
Yeah.
If there's a problem, I'm like, oh crap, I need to fix this.
Yeah.
Then that's how I learn stuff. But that's the only reason. I don't go out of my way to be like, you know what? I think I'm going to learn how to do this and this and this.
Right.
Well, if I don't have to, I'm not going to.
Yeah, right.
Like if I'm forced to, then yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and then I'll like do a little bit of it, and then all right, I'm already halfway, so I'll learn a little bit like the full scope.
Right.
But unless I have to, I'm not gonna.
Because it's kind of like like you do it for a business, right? So do you work anywhere else? Do you have any other jobs? What you do?
Not at the moment. I got let go from my job in COVID.
All right.
And then was like, well, fuck it. I'm just gonna keep doing this. I was ready to leave. I didn't like it, and I was like, I'm just gonna keep doing this now. I'm kind of doing this.
That's pretty sweet. That's working out.
Yeah, it's a tough year.
Sure.
I'll probably be a little below where I need to be this year. I'll probably end up having to and I still in the summertime. I'll still paint houses and stuff like
cool,
that.
I do that too. It's good.
Yeah. Do some painting and do some odd jobs here and there, just a little bit to get some extra cash.
Yeah, exactly.
I might have to do a bit more of it this summer because it's pretty tight year. Ski industry's not
Everything's
not
tight,
good
man.
right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's rough. It's pretty slow most places for sure.
Wah wah. That's what happens when there's no snow.
Do you think does this seem to you like the last couple of years our seasons has changed from like it's warm till like late in November and then it's shitty until like late in June and the winters haven't adjusted enough to give us like snow later in May. You know what I mean? Like I think it's like, do you think that it feels like winter has shifted like
forward a little bit?
Yeah. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, I can see that.
Sound hokey.
No, I
but
can see
I think
that.
it has.
I think I've had this conversation before.
Not with me.
No, not with you, but like,
No.
yeah, it does seem like it maybe is like it just went like this.
Yeah, that's like.
I don't know if it's a thing, but I think it could be a thing.
It'd be sweet because it would give us longer days in winter, like when there's more snow, like later in the winter.
Right.
Ski later. Yeah, I think we're gonna have the bike park open pretty soon.
Oh man, everybody's been telling me that Squamish and Pemberton are all time right now. It's like the best it could ever be.
Right.
I'm like, it's February.
Yeah, right. So how many episodes of that do you do?
What?
Don't you do a podcast with?
Oh, right. You had asked me the podcast. So I did the low pressure podcast.
Yeah.
I did a full year of the Brett Tippie podcast.
Yeah, right. Sweet.
So I had that idea over COVID too. I actually met Brett in, I think it was Richie Schlay's 50th birthday. He's during Crankworks.
Okay, right. Yeah.
And I had been thinking about, maybe doing another show.
Yeah.
And then I was sitting there with a buddy and I looked over. I'm like, oh, look, there's Brett Tippie. And I went, oh my God, Brett Tippie. Like, that's the guy.
You're perfect.
Yeah. So I went over to him and I introduced myself. He's like, hey, how's it going? Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then COVID shut everything. That was like August. So then like the following March when COVID just shut people down, I called him up and I was like, hey, I have, maybe remember me? He's like, oh, yeah, I was telling my wife about you. With I forgot who you were and how to get a hold of you and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, I'm the podcast guy. Let's do a podcast. So we developed that show.
Yeah.
That was my first new show, even before I did FWT show.
Right.
I think it was kind of about like that. There was a year there that I was doing all 3 shows. I did 81-hour podcast episodes in a year.
80?
Yeah, exclusively, all by myself. Brett would record some of them, and then he would just send me the files, and I did everything. And I was traveling with the tour. It was so overwhelming. But yeah, we ended up doing
hustle though. Yeah. Sweet.
We ended up doing 52 episodes. We didn't miss a week.
52.
No, 50 or 52.
Yeah, still.
And we didn't miss an episode. Brett kicked ass, man. He never missed always got episodes done. I always got them edited on time.
That's sweet.
The reason I learned how to do the film editing,
yeah,
is because we were paying a guy to do it.
Yeah.
And he was having a kid, and his kid was coming, and he's like, I can't edit this week. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So he sitting beside his wife and she was pregnant for a while, or in labor for a while. So he was sitting beside his wife, and he's sending me instructions on how to set up Premiere Pro and how to do this.
Right.
So basically he was tutoring me while he was sitting there just on the phone.
Yeah.
Do this.
Funny.
I'm like, this isn't working. How do you do that? So I basically learned how to edit on Premiere Pro because he ended up having a kid and he didn't have time to do it. So then I just took that job away from him and I started doing it myself.
Right. Okay.
But it was a lot. But yeah, Brett was awesome. The show was great.
That's
we were
cool.
getting, and then it was just a bit much.
Yeah.
We had a good sponsor with Ride Wrap.
Yeah.
But it was hard because he didn't want to double up. We didn't really want to double up between his mountain bike sponsors.
Sure. Right. Yeah.
Right. So we didn't want to dilute that. And he has a lot that kind of go,
Yeah.
because he's, got 2 kids, raising his family.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I'm not going to screw with your money. So we were trying to find other sponsors that were different avenues, and we just weren't having the most luck.
There's only so
And,
many
and
out
we
there.
got burnt out, to be honest. So I'd love to do more.
Yeah.
I think he would if the circumstances are right.
Right.
Because he's so good at it.
Right.
That's just what he's meant to do. Just
yeah.
be a host and be able to talk and entertain
he
people, man.
rules.
The
Yeah,
guy's
he's
the
the man.
best.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot for sure. I mean, if you're doing three shows.
It was a lot.
And then you're traveling too. It's fine to do 3 shows if it's all in the same spot, different guests and stuff. But if you're traveling,
It's so much, man. It's so much.
it's an
I was
epic effort.
keen, and now I'm tired.
yeah, well, 80 episodes in a year. That's like almost like 4 years worth of.
I was doing like 3 a week
Yeah.
during the winter because I was doing FWT shows and
Right.
like
Man.
it was a lot. But it was cool, man.
I
Like
do,
I feel
fucking
I don't know.
one.
Part of me feels like I don't know anything still, but then I talk to people. I'm like, okay, I do know quite a bit.
I feel like too. I feel like it's not rocket science as far as making it work and getting it to record and stuff. It's all just about the effort to go and do it and meet the people and make it happen. And all
Yeah,
that
like
stuff.
this stuff is pretty simple. You just
You
set
can
up
do
your
a route-
system. You
you
set
can-
up your system and you do it
Yeah.
once. But yeah, it's the tracking people down. Like I told you, I felt bad. Like we've been talking about this for so long.
Dude, I flake on a lot of guests.
You're like, hey, I don't want to do
I'm
this.
just joking. I'm
Is that
just
why
like,
you sent me that text today? Being like, oh, you can change the date if you
No,
want.
that's a confidence thing for me. I don't think people. I'm like people are like, oh yeah, I'll go on your show and stuff. Yeah, no, I just think I'm super mellow about it. I'm like, yeah, I don't.
Right.
I'm super lax about it.
Do you know one I really liked was was it sandwich reviews? You
Oh,
and
yeah.
Tyler did
Yeah, we did pizza reviews.
Pizza reviews?
Burrito reviews.
breakfast burrito reviews, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it a burrito or a wrap? We did food reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty fun. I mean, I just don't care. I just talk to everybody.
No, I like
It's
that.
so good to talk
No,
to
I
people.
like those ones. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. Plus,
The
Tyler's hilarious.
Yeah, the pizza ones are most watched. It's my most watched podcast. Like 500 views.
Sweet.
Yeah, and nobody listened to that one because it
Doesn't translate
No, you just
to audio.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a bunch of
Yeah, when Tyler tells
chew
us,
noises.
when we both throw Misty Mountain under the bus for being shitty.
He's eating so much of it. It's a shame. Like she's nice, but the pizza's
that's
not
funny.
great. Do
Yeah.
you know what though? I will tell you this. Whistler is a pizza town.
Yeah,
Garbage. It's always been garbage for the last 20 years. There's
mean,
there's been one place. Well, I guess Antico. I'm not a huge fan of it.
Antico was crispy.
Yeah.
all the way through.
Yeah.
It'd be incredible.
Yeah, Creek Bread's decent.
not
You
bad.
know, Functional Pie is okay.
Functional Pie won. Our
It was
pizza.
good. It
won-
was really good. It's not as good anymore. But I think it's too greasy, too floppy, too loose.
Oh, I like Functional Pie.
The best pizza that I think is in town right now, without
Brooklyn
question.
Domino's?
No, it's the most time. That's what I buy the most.
Yeah.
Handlebar.
Yes. Oh, killer for sure. Yeah.
Handlebar,
Cool.
I think, is the best pizza in town. Like I was talking to Johnny Law when they was developing it,
Yeah.
and he went through a bunch of dough recipes, and
Sure.
he really paid attention to making it good.
Yeah, man.
Rather than just offering pizza, he wanted to create a nice, good pizza.
Well, he's not doing anything really fancy. He's just doing really good pizza.
Really good dough,
Yeah.
really good. It's
It's like a
delicious.
big slice. There's good flavors. It's not like
Do you remember? Were you here when the Pinoli's was here? There was a place
Pinoli's?
called Pinoli's,
where was
and it was up by like the pie shop, like Shakespeare's.
I remember Daily Slice,
No, so yeah, there was
and then there was one before that. And then I don't remember Pinoli's.
the one next to Pinoli's was like where not black, not the pie shop in the Royal Bank.
Shakespeare's Pie was where
Shakespeare's pies, and
that's
then it
where
was and there was 4 and 20. It was 4 and 20 pies.
Yeah, but that was in above Royal Bank.
Yeah, no, but the current pie shop, Peak Pies,
Okay.
by where.
Oh, there was something before that.
Yeah. So where was it?
Yeah,
Mount Curry
that was
Coffee.
pretty good pizza.
Mount Curry Coffee.
Yeah.
It used to,
Pinoli's.
yeah.
That was pretty good pizza.
It was really good because it was
Fuck.
nice pan pizza.
Yeah,
like
what
everyone
happened?
forgets it was the best pizza in town. And I
Yeah,
like
what
a pan pizza. I like a nice thick kind of
Yeah.
doughy, hot, gooey pizza. I like crispy, but I'm
Right. Right.
if I can, if those Domino's, whenever it
Yeah.
has their
The
50%
Brooklyn
off.
pizza, yeah.
I always
Also,
get
Johnny's
two.
pizza's kind of like it's got that crispy New York style to it.
Yeah, but that's
But
good.
Pinoli's, no shit,
Pinoli's.
man. How many?
You're the only other person that seems to remember that place.
How many?
That's
of
probably
those-
why it doesn't exist
It
anymore.
was always this. You got the small. Yeah, but
I used to go. Oh, I used to
those
get Pizza Hut in.
pepperoni was fucking.
I used to get Pizza Hut in the IGA.
Well, yeah, that was legit.
In the IGA,
That was probably the
the
best.
personals.
That was the best time in Worcester pizza history, probably. I think.
There used to be. So there was.
And why is there no Taco Bell in the KFC right now? I don't go to KFC; it's gross. But I would destroy Taco Bell if it was in the KFC.
I've never eaten Taco Bell. I've never been to that KFC either.
Neither have I. No, I don't think
I love fried chicken, but for some reason I won't buy it there. I get it from Creekside Market.
A real restaurant.
Creekside Market's got good fried chicken.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
like in like the like
In the deli.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go in there every time I got to go to like take Cedar to the vet or I got to do anything in Creekside.
Yeah.
If it's like around lunchtime, I'm in there. I'm getting
their
a couple
hot
pieces.
capicoli sandwich is pretty good. It's in like the baguette.
Yeah.
You know what's killer, dude? Is the this is funny. I say this all the time. The hot Italian. And I'm not gonna blow up the spot because 14 people listen to my podcast. But the Nestor's hot Italian sub. It's $9, and it's like this long. It's got all the.
I used to get the roast beef fillets there, and I get the
Telling
croissant turkey.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But you don't know if it's ever going to be there because Nestor's is garbage
sell
now.
out.
Nestor's sucks now. Nestor's went from being
I'm gonna bleep out Nestor's when you say it.
Nestor's grocery store in Whistler used to be the best grocery store, hands down. It had an amazing meat department.
Calling them out right now.
100%. Google review this shit or Yelp
really?
review. I don't know. Yeah, but anyways, it was the greatest grocery store in town. It was. I lived in White Gold probably more than half the time I lived in Whistler.
Okay.
So when the boot was there, I used to walk through like the loading bay of the boot to go and like walk across the highway into Nestor's.
Yeah.
They had the best of everything. The shelves were stocked.
Sure.
The deli was great. It was nice to be in there. The products were good. The prices were good. They sold the Save On or whatever. And in the last 2 years, it's went from the best grocery store in town to like the worst. It's such garbage now. You don't know if anything's going to be there. They can't staff it. It's like you go to the meat department. It's embarrassing. Like, I'm calling Nestor's out only because I've been shopping there for 20 years. Right. And then now it's so bad now compared to what it was.
Sure. All right. I don't.
Why?
I don't go there a lot, so I don't go there.
Why are you so concerned about?
No, I just don't go there a lot.
Bad mouth and Nestor's. You seem really
concerned.
They
suck. I don't care. But I don't go there a lot. Creekside Market's frustrating.
I have started shopping there. I always thought it was just too small.
It's just frustrating sometimes.
Why is it frustrating?
I don't know. Their deli's great. I go there. The deli's really good.
Deli's nice.
I mean, it's not top shelf, but it's always open and it's good.
A guy I used to work in a restaurant with, Akeelan.
Yeah.
He was always like. The restaurant sucked, but it was always like he was always like the best dude in the kitchen, like really nice. But he was like he didn't take shit, didn't suffer fools. If someone was being an idiot, he'd be like call him out. But the quality was always awesome. So he ended up getting his PR, some Sri Lanka, and he works there now.
Oh, cool.
So I went in and I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah,
so that's probably more of a reason why I go there too, just to like go in and say hi and get some fried chicken because I'm addicted to it.
It's good. I would go to independent more, but it's kind of
out of the way.
And sporadic with the things it has.
What?
Like, other than fruits and vegetables, in the meat counter, there's no deli at the meat counter, just the meat counter. You just go and buy, like, ground beef.
Are you a big, like, deli sandwich guy?
Yeah, I like deli sandwiches, yeah.
How long have you been here? What year did you move here?
2003.
Oh, so you might know this. Were you here when the Petro-Canada was open?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember the deli counter in there? So, like, where the Tim Hortons is right now?
I know, yeah.
There used to be a Petro-Can there. And they had an amazing deli counter.
Maybe I don't remember that.
You go in, and it would be...
the Food Plus that had the deli counter way back in the day. That thing was killer.
They've got a great, like, whole kitchen in that back corner. I want someone to, like...
Well, it's Subway now.
In the co-op?
Yeah, like... Oh, no. Sorry. Co-op. Sorry, yeah, right. Sorry. The old Husky, right. You mean that back kitchen there.
There's a kitchen in the new building now. But yeah, in the Petro-Can across the street, they had this little kind of corner, and they had you just go in and you'd be like, I want that bread, and then they would just load up your sandwich.
At the gas station.
Yeah.
I never noticed.
And it was amazing.
I used to go to the gas station all the time. I lived in Creekside.
So good.
Huh.
It was so good in the Petro-Can. It was great. And I was thinking about, funny enough, I was thinking about that a couple days ago because I was like, where is there really a deli count Portobello? You can go and like have like sandwiches made and that sort of thing. That's probably the closest.
What about the picnic place there by it's like used to be the corner deli. It's right by KFC.
Oh, I haven't been in there.
It's still the deli shop.
Yeah.
But I think it's all right.
Is that where that charcuterie place picnic is out of?
Yeah.
I've had a bunch of those. Those are good. I've got a couple of those as gifts. I like them.
So I'm pretty sure it's still a sandwich shop in there, like a deli. But Portobello, man, fucking that stuff's killer.
I love Portobello.
They it's still decent there, but man, it used to be just epic. For like $10, you'd get
The locals
like,
deal was like $9.89. You'd order
load it up.
the you'd order like the make it yourself sandwich.
Yeah.
It'd be like that big, and you just cut it in half and eat the rest later.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They got a good porchetta sandwich. Is really good. It's
Oh, do
like
they?
crispy porchetta pork
Oh,
with
yeah.
like chimichurri and stuff. Oh,
Dude,
I've been thinking
it's
about that
crazy.
lately too. I got to go
Yeah.
into Portobello.
You know what?
You always ask for the locals discount. They usually give you like 10% or something.
Where is this?
Portobello.
Oh, Portobello, yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I used to when I had my office down there, I would go there every day.
When you worked at Whistler Blackcomb?
Yeah, I would go there so much, man. It's crazy. And then remember there's Taiwan on? I'd go there for lunch.
I've never been there.
It's where Handlebar was, or is.
Taiwan on was there?
Nagomi and Taiwan on.
Where's Taiwan on now?
It's not around anymore.
Was that where it was?
Yeah, it was right where Nagomi and.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Have you been to that new Thai place in Creekside? I heard it's super expensive but really good.
Mango 66 or
Mekong
whatever.
or something.
Yeah. No, but I've seen a lot of hoopla about it.
Mm.
There's that other place in. Remember where the old Crab Shack used to be?
Mm-hmm.
And there's that place. So I'm yelling here. Yeah, what's that called? Blue Ocean or something like that.
Wild Blue.
Wild Blue. I bet you that place is fancy.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I used to work at the Crab Shack back in the day.
I used to work at Husky, dude.
Did you? With the old building?
No, the new one.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't here before. You used to work at the Crab Shack?
Yeah, it was awesome.
That one there. Was that?
I worked as like a food runner.
Yeah.
So remember Sundays?
They'd rip your sleeves off your shirts?
Well, they had Pete and Chad in the whole damn county, and then they had $5 wings, the $5 pint and pound.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I was like I would stand in front of the fire all night. There was this massive like Costco bin
Yeah.
full of wings.
Yeah.
And I'd just scoop them out and dump them in the fryer, and I'd walk
Jesus.
out with like 10 plates of wings.
Just hand
I'd walk up to a table and I'd say, take that one, and then that one, and that one. Then I'd be able to
Wow.
like hand them out.
Yeah, that place had the peanuts all over the place too, right? When you could throw them around.
No, it was before then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was way before then. That's when it was El Fernie. That's when it became El Furniture Warehouse or something. They tried to do one there.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
Can you imagine being so? I always think about this. I have a couple friends at Peanut Allergies. Can you just imagine walking in there just to like
Oh, it's a death
get
trap.
a meal, like peanuts flying by? There's a dude that we used to know. He was like on other ends of the house, and he was like in the living room. I don't know if I was there. I'm just repeating a story. And then someone was in the kitchen,
Classic.
and he's like, Are you in a peanut butter sandwich?" Like,
Other end of the room.
yeah, like other end of the house.
Fuck.
Like on the same floor, but it was
Just
all open concept. Yeah, like
Just feel
I gotta
scratching his
go.
throat?
Yeah, I gotta go outside.
That'd be a fucking nightmare, dude. To have a.
Oh, can you imagine? But you always think about this too? It's like those people, if they weren't like living in this era of humanity, they'd be
Right.
dead.
Well, I didn't think to ask you. I just brought you a Snickers.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I
saw
didn't even
that.
think to ask you. And I was like, oh, might be a peanut allergy.
No allergy here.
Yeah, that was my. Yeah.
I'm gonna open it.
You're gonna eat it on camera.
I know, isn't that wild?
That's
I'm just gonna
insane, dude.
have a little piece.
Like, yeah.
I was thinking about that, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. and
Go
then
ahead.
since you brought it up,
It doesn't bother me.
it's just like leading into the bit, right?
Yeah, and just make that. Just eat.
So just talk amongst yourself
Yeah.
for a minute.
Dude, well, Tyler and I did a chocolate bar review. I don't know how long ago it was. A while now. I even forgot who won.
What do you mean it was a contest?
Yeah, we just sat here and ate chocolate bars and just tried them out and just ranked them. And then we had like Mr. Big and Kit Kat and Arrow.
Mr. Bigs are good.
I know. O. Henry, Snickers, Mars.
You ate that many chocolate bars?
Well, we just chopped them into chunks and ate them.
Good Lord.
It was pretty funny. And
Like
then
that one bite I took, that's all I need.
We did a donut challenge.
Oh, I'd be down with that.
Yeah, so we went and got donuts from like Portobello, Hunter Gatherer, because they have good donuts at Hunter
They have
Gatherer.
donuts there?
Yeah, because it's
That's
Worcester
a place
Cooks.
I've never been able to get into.
It's good.
I went in there once when they first opened. I'm like,
Yeah.
eh. So I maybe I got to give it another shot.
I mean, maybe I'm over. It's decent. It's good. Like I've been there. The shawarma's good. They have the chicken and waffles. It's pretty decent. But the
fried chicken and waffles.
What's that?
Fried chicken and waffles.
Yeah, yeah.
Sold.
Yeah, a boiled chicken and waffles. No, it's not.
Ew. Can you imagine?
That'd be gross. They have their eggs bennies on I don't know what I'm talking about food right now. Their eggs bennies on like a rye bread or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It doesn't work.
What are you trying to do there?
It doesn't work.
What
yeah.
are you trying to do there?
I mean, fancy's one thing, but it doesn't work. Like it's just it doesn't, and it's all. Yeah. Anyway, it's pretty good.
So do you guys talk about food mostly on this show? It's like a food show?
No, I eat a lot of food and talk about pizza a lot.
I love pizza.
I've only done
I think pizza's one of the greatest things ever.
Yeah, we've done like 5. I've done like 4 or 5 food episodes, but yeah, it's not usually food.
No.
You know Jenna May? She sings.
Guitarist? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had her on the show one time, and she brought me. We ate just like it's like Filipino buns and all this like Filipino food stuff. It was like super ASMR.
Very
It
cool.
was like a 3-hour podcast.
Just eating.
Yeah.
Having a break for a snack.
It's so loud too, because sometimes back then I didn't know I had the gain way up and just breathing heavy just sounded bad. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't talk about food much. I don't know.
There's an AI program now that will like, say you're in a room like this and there's like a fan in the background or like a dog barking
like
outside
this,
or
fridge going.
Yeah, I can show you how to like eliminate that like that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. But there's an AI program now that through Adobe you can go put it in and it enhances the audio and
doesn't it
it's I've used it a couple times, but then a couple times I can't use it because it's over processed.
Yeah, I've tried it before where you try to like cancel out the background noise and work with a bit. It just sounds like it gets tinnier or something. Something happens to the quality of the speech when I try to cancel out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something.
It's like you're speaking in a can, right?
Yeah, like I get it. It has to do something, but I find the background noise is less interference than the weird audio I get.
I'll show you.
I just don't know enough.
I think you have to pay for it, but it was one of the best things I bought is a plug-in for the program.
Yeah.
It removes that stuff really well.
Can you just get better mics?
Yes.
I just get like better mics where it's more like
like
here or
you
nothing.
You can, but it'll still be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lame. That's fucking lame. Yeah, I don't.
What a bummer, hey?
Yeah, I need. I don't know. I thought good microphones mattered, but I guess it doesn't really matter.
It helps.
Yeah.
Most of the people that listen, like from here, or around here, or know something to do with here.
I can check like if it's BC or not, but
what's your host program?
Podbean. I don't. Dude, this thing. I'm not racking up views and listens.
Right. But you like doing it, right?
Yeah, it's good. I do like.
Why did you start it? Like, what made you want to start? Was it that one that we did all those years ago? Was that your first podcast experience?
Yeah, it was for sure. I didn't. This is my total on this all time. It's not very much. 50 episodes.
You get more on YouTube though, don't you?
YouTube's probably like 7,000, 8,000.
Yeah,
it's not that much for like 50 episodes.
It's pretty cool though. But you know what though? It's like you do it because you like it. Like
yeah,
I do my show. I like I said, I had right timing, right concept. I knew the right people. I've been stubborn enough to keep going at it, so I've gotten to a point where it works, right? But I just enjoy, like, a lot of times all of the everything that we've talked about to put it together is so overwhelming, and I'm just over it.
Yeah, right.
But then I have a conversation with someone that's just really good.
Sure.
And I'm like, wow, that was really great. And that's why I do it, as I value that so much. Like, that's why people listen to podcasts so much, because they can get in on these amazing conversations. But when you get to have one for yourself,
it's very rare that people sit down and talk for 2 hours an hour.
It's so rare. Yeah. Like, that's what we're doing.
Common thing,
but that's why people like podcasts, I think, because they can kind of join in on that while they're doing something else.
Yeah, for sure.
But for same thing as kind of to what I was alluding to with the chairlift.
Yeah.
Like, that's a forced conversation, but in smaller form.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like, I have chosen to put my phone away and engage with you as a person for an hour and a half or 2 hours. And it's so valuable, and I come away from that every time I do it feeling great.
Yeah.
It's like a huge blast of endorphins, you know?
I like it because I don't have a topic. So, and I think sometimes when like the conversation just starts to dip, it makes me laugh inside because I'm like, we're going to have to deal with this. We're going to have to get this out of this. Like, you know, like you just have like...
It's a challenge.
Like the flow of it goes, and I'm like, oh man. And then you just go like...
I haven't had that issue in a long time. Like when I started, I've had a couple people where I'm like, oh, we're only at 35 minutes? No.
Oh, yeah. This one's... I feel like we're going like 20 minutes now, but it feels like it's like probably long. Yeah,
I think we're like an hour and 20 or something.
Yeah,
but like, but when it's easy, it's easy.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
But then now it's like, I don't really get those lulls anymore because I always know how you'll learn tricks. Like you've probably gotten better too. You just learn tricks, or like you've got specific go-tos, like... Right. Your parents still around, or or like, you know, like, what do you do when you're not skiing? What do you do in the off season? What do you got planned?
Sure,
right? There's all of these like staples, like 5 or 6 questions that you know you can get like 3 or 4 to 10 to 20 minutes out.
Yeah,
and every once in a while, this is the cool thing that I love about my shows. If I'm talking to somebody, and I'll ask them about something, and they'll say or they'll say something,
Yeah.
and I'll see them go like, I can see them light up a little bit when they
Right.
talk about it. Or like I'll
Yeah.
ask them something, and I'll be like, no, talk more about that. Like
Yeah,
I can
right.
recognize in somebody
Sure.
when they're like willing to talk about something, or they mention something that they really enjoy, and I
Right.
can now sense, okay, I need to zero in on that and get them to like focus on that, because that's where I'm going to get interesting conversation, a cool
Right.
story, and I'm going to fill some time.
Right.
Right? You just gotta just kind of gauge.
It helps too. You're talking to people who are like you're in that passion. You're talking about them about what they love. So like,
Well, and that's the thing too. That's
You're
exactly.
already- yeah.
So whether we're talking about skiing or not,
yeah.
you find that thing that they like.
Sure. Right.
And that's exactly what it is. You see that little spark or that little the flicker.
Yeah.
You're like, that's it. That's the key. I need you to go into this, and then
Yeah.
get them to tell you about that. And that's usually when podcast episodes are the most fun, because people are now talking about something that they're interested in.
Yeah.
And
for
that's when you get the most engaging
sure.
like,
a
conversation.
lot of things people seem forced, but podcasts are like you have so much time.
Some are forced.
Sure, some are forced. Yeah, but like
I don't listen to those ones.
sometimes like it takes me a while to get used to a podcast. Like
Like
that's okay.
what do you listen to?
I listen to mostly comedy stuff. I don't listen to much else. Like
Yeah. Like
Uh,
comedians,
yeah,
that
mostly
sort of thing.
comedian podcasts. Yeah, for
I
sure.
listen to a bunch of those. To be honest, I watch more of those on like YouTube shorts. and
Yeah,
stuff.
I rarely, if I haven't seen their podcast on YouTube or watched them do it, I have a hard time listening to it first. I have a hard time going.
So you
audio
need
first.
you need the vision of
Yeah,
them
it
in your
helps
head?
helps me stay interested in their chats.
Okay, what about books?
I'm reading a book right now. Just finished reading a book. I read,
But like based on what you said,
got back into it.
will you? I for some reason I won't watch a movie of a book I read. Very rarely. No. No, yeah, I won't watch a movie. I won't read a book of a movie I've watched ever. Like I'll watch I'll watch a movie of a book I've read just to see if
Sure,
if
but
it's
not
the same.
reverse.
Never in reverse, because if I'm reading a book and I already know the story, well, what's the point in reading this? But also, I don't want the image that the visuals that they've created in my head. I want to be able to create that for
Sure.
myself.
But also now, if the movie's changed the storyline a bit to fit the movie, now that's your original. So now you're comparing the book to the movie in a way that you saw the movie first. So if the movie was altered to make it work for the if the book was altered to make it work for the movie, and you watch that first, then you read the book and it's somewhat different
And it's more in depth and there's
or
more
whatever.
to it. Yeah,
And you're more like,
it
well,
happens a lot.
Yeah, you're like, well, I've seen the movie now first, so that's my original interaction with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes you probably. I think I would be the same way.
But the book would be is always far better.
Sure.
Is always far better. But I already know the story. But I don't want to like.
Right.
You know, if the main character is like Ryan Gosling, right? If that's the guy who ends up playing the main
You're reading
character,
Barbie. Yeah.
I don't want to read the book with that image
Sure.
of him in my head. I want to create the image in my head
Yeah.
of this character, right?
That's fair.
I don't know.
I got back into reading again. I didn't do it for a while, but it's
Reading's fun. I used to read a ton when I was a kid. Phones take a lot of my reading time. I would sit on the couch for like 5 hours and just read a book
yeah,
all the time. Listen to music, read
Yeah.
a book.
I'm
Now I
getting-
spend way too much time on my damn phone.
Yeah, I started getting back into music, and I was listening to too many podcasts. I started listening to music again recently. I was just getting over like so much.
Go
I
through
just-
waves.
Yeah.
I could drive a lot with the podcast too.
Right.
I'm about to go to Golden again on Monday. And
But I
like,
zone out for a lot of them. Like I'd listen to it and just think of other
Yeah.
shit. Like it's like yeah.
Like I'll listen. It's funny. Like it's almost like I need to be in a mood for music. I listen to a ton of music, like a lot.
Yeah.
But when I'm driving, sometimes I just like, I don't know. I listen to like sports radio like I listen to Canucks podcasts. I listen
Right.
to Blue Jays podcasts.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, and then like I'll listen, like when I'm driving, I'm listening to those comedy ones. Listen to the comedy ones when I'm making dinner or something.
Right.
I like the Debaters, that CBC show.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, isn't it like
It's like two
it's been going on
comedians.
forever, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's two comedians. It's super like family friendly. It's
Right.
two comedians making jokes about a topic, like
Right.
debating a topic.
Yeah,
So it's nice, light, easy listening. I'll listen to that.
yeah. I don't. The radio for me, yeah. CBC used to be good. I used to listen to it because it just wasn't shitty music or like repetitive music all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking CBC. They got. You think they're funded by the government? You think they're?
You think they are
do you-
funded
I
by
know,
the
but
government?
do you think because they are, you think that they? You think they're shitty media?
No, I don't think they're shitty.
No.
No, but
No.
like the content is just
It used to be like
pretty dry.
It
a
used
lot.
to be like whole. It used to be like mean, I think it used to be more well respected. It used to be like CBC was like the shit now. Like, 'cause remember when CBC did hockey and then CTV bought it off them or something? They lost the contract.
Sportsnet.
Yeah, whoever it was, yeah.
But they still do Hockey Night Canada on CBC.
Right, that's all they do though, right?
But that's all they ever did.
Didn't they play every game?
No.
Really?
No, only
Well, then what was the big deal about that deal then?
only Saturdays.
Well,
Hockey Night Canada.
what was
Because
it?
it was an institution.
I know, but
They thought it was going to go away.
It didn't go away.
No. CBC and Sportsnet have a deal where they still let it happen.
So then what the fuck was... Now that makes me mad.
Yeah. It's
Everyone's
just
all
like
shitty about it.
it's
Like,
just like anything. You change a color of something like, oh, it shouldn't be red. Blah. There's
didn't-
always going to be losers
Right.
sending messages about something.
I was like, oh shit! Didn't they? And then they were gonna change the theme song.
No. So what happened is the woman who wrote the dun 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 dun
Yeah,
dun,
something-
dun, 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 dun,
something
dun,
happened there,
dun,
Yeah,
dun, 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 dun. I'll never forget it.
yeah.
The lady who owned it, I guess the rights were up for sale, or they came up and she was able to like renegotiate or something along those lines.
Right.
And she just wanted money, so TSN bought them. Bell Media bought them, and they had it on. They started doing it on the TSN channel.
Right.
It just wasn't the same,
Yeah.
and it's just like
Weird, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So she got greedy and didn't want to like let them have it. She wanted to sell it for some money,
That's funny shit.
and then it went away, and no one cares anymore.
Yeah, it's gone now, right?
Yeah, they have a new song.
Which probably, I mean, who
It
cares?
is what it is, and people
Yeah.
recognize it, but it won't be
yeah.
it won't be the classic like the other one was.
Right. I don't watch sports. I don't have cable. I have nothing. So I only I'll watch like basketball.
My
clips here.
dad has cable.
Yeah.
And I use his Sportsnet
Oh,
account.
sick.
So I watch every game I need to, all the Blue Jays games I need to. It's great.
Damn, I should get that. Because if you go to buy like a sports channel, like if you go buy like I don't know, just through Apple TV or something like that, you just buy like the NFL channel, or whatever. It's pretty expensive for the year.
Probably.
It's not cheap.
No, probably. Do you know cable just turned into a bunch of like random subscriptions? So the money you spend on cable is now like 4 or 5 different TV subscriptions so you can get the things you want to watch.
Oh, like Netflix, Amazon, all that shit. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crave or
the same
Sportsnet.
amount.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It just
Netflix
shifted.
is like $15 an hour or something like that, or maybe $20 an hour. Or
What
something.
is?
Netflix?
I got rid of my Netflix because it was too expensive. I was like, this is stupid. I'm not using it enough.
That's all I have.
And I was splitting it with my dad.
Oh, okay.
So I was like letting him watch it, and then they cracked down on that. And I was like, oh,
because you can't.
I'm
have,
like, screw that, I'm out.
that's insane. I think that's stupid. You can't have different browsers or whatever, different IP addresses.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
dumb. So I was like, peace out. I don't need this anymore. I don't watch it
That's fucked
enough.
up.
I watch like the comedy specials on it, and that's pretty much it. I don't watch movies very often.
Yeah, I watch YouTube. Pretty much all I watch now. The thing. So you have one camera on the guest, and then just the wide.
Yeah, if I could, I'd have a tight angle on both of us, and then a wide angle. I'd have 3 angles, but you know,
I might just put GoPros right here in front of anybody's face, and just a super wide angle.
you
that'd
just
be-
like you could get a.
I could hang them out of the
You just hang them,
out of frame there.
right?
Yeah,
Or just stick them on the corner.
That'd be fucking sweet, actually. I'm
Just
doing that.
suction them right here and there, or here, 2 in the middle, 1 that way, 1 this way.
Yeah, I thought about just doing 2 cameras, but they both capture you, like they both capture each of us.
Oh
so
yeah.
you can just switch from side to side.
Yeah. So the one I have one DSL camera that
Yeah.
shoots on the guest,
Yeah.
and then one that's like that, the phone that gives us both.
Yeah.
Because people don't need to see
Phone's legit, man.
me.
I don't think I ever need.
No, phones are great. I have a
Yeah.
12. I want to get the 15 because it's like
12's good.
It'd be
I
that
need
much
to get
better.
I need to get more memory on mine. Mine's like 60. I mean, mine's like 64 gigs or something like that. Like
yeah,
the
I got the
smallest.
250,
Yeah, that's
256. I don't think I'm gonna get the terabyte.
There's there's a terabyte one now.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's
yeah.
expensive though. It's
Like
like
$2,000?
$2,000. Yeah, 1,800 or something. I think.
Damn,
I know.
it's a lot of money.
Wah wah.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on the camera, I think, and then I've always wanted to go live. But I need to get it on. I think
Twitch. That's Twitch.
Yeah, I have a
Usually
Twitch account.
You
Like,
get if you get a good
stream.
camera, you can get you might even be able to use that adapter, but like a micro HD.
Yeah.
Or USB to USB micro or something like that, and you
Yeah.
can plug it into your DSLR and use it as a webcam.
Yeah, that's
So like the good camera, the good lens, you
Yeah.
can make that as your webcam rather than like the janky ones that they have. I have one that's better than the one in the computer,
Yeah.
but it's still not the best.
I thought about using my lav mics and just going straight live from my phone and running it through YouTube on my phone.
Could.
Straight live.
Oh, that'd be interesting. You should try that.
be super
You
easy.
could go like ride the bus and like meet random people.
Well, yeah, and just put the phone in front of you wherever you go.
Yeah.
Anywhere.
We do a
But no.
podcast. Hey, lady, you want to do a podcast with me?
I'm curious what it'd be like to not have a microphone here, like because I don't touch it much, but I use it as like a thing.
Well, and you can hear it too.
Yeah,
I'm always like fiddling with it and stuff. Do
Yeah.
you guys ever just like honestly, you could just sit on the couch
It's
and
just,
like
they're
talk
just
like
too
this.
loud when you hold them. You can hear it.
Yeah.
They're fidgety. You hear that noise?
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds shitty. So I tried it before, but it's pretty fidgety. But I guess, I don't know. I don't know how to fix that. Just get better mics, I guess.
Does this just hang on that like that?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
on the top. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah,
whatever,
try it.
man. What
Yeah.
you have here
It's
works.
good. Oh, yeah, I think it's
works.
great.
It
I'm
works
stoked on it.
great. It works
Yeah.
really well, and you do a good job of it.
Yeah, thanks, man. Well, thanks for coming on the show, dude. I know we probably have more stuff to talk about.
Oh,
but,
we'll do another one.
Yeah, I'm
Now
down with that.
we've popped the cherry.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we should do more of these for sure. I want to do. Do you ever think about getting a space?
Mm-hmm.
It's just not really worth it, right?
Not in this town.
Fair, right? Okay, but like the
Shit's so
utility of it.
expensive here.
Yeah,
Like for me to rent an office,
it's like $500 a month, probably, right? $600 a month or more. In
What?
function.
that little.
I thought it would be like that much. Maybe I'm wrong.
I assumed it would be way more, but I could
Because
be
even
wrong.
those shared office spaces, you could rent one for like. What was like a shared office space? You could rent the use of an office like 4 days a
Well,
week.
they had that like co-work space they had a couple
Yeah.
co-working spaces for
Those
a while.
things always seem to tank,
Yeah.
and no one.
I don't know why, because like
and
a
then-
town like this, the amount of people living in their vans and
Yeah.
stuff doing like remote work.
It's too expensive. It's hard to make the model work, I'd imagine. Probably to be too busy to make it worth the money,
Mhm.
and then too expensive to make it worth going.
Right.
I think that's what happens. You get caught in that middle spot there. Unless you're in the city, but I don't know. I went there once to check it out. There was a podcast studio in there.
What?
Yeah, there was two of them. There's 2 rooms, like
In Whistler?
yeah, right behind Home Hardware there. You're talking about the spot behind Home Hardware, right? That was like
No, I had no idea.
it was like called Spaces.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a rent like a communal office space. You could rent like space or a desk, whatever it was, right? They had 2 rooms like the size of like a bathroom or something, or small, like closets, all padded. And some girl was doing, when I went in there to do the tour, some girl was doing like a makeup podcast. Apparently it's pretty popular. I forget all about it, but I just
Like a
think about
makeup
this now.
tutorial kind of
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Get ready with me.
Yeah, but it was just audio, so you couldn't be like, "Hey, watch what I'm doing." It'd be
It was an audio makeup
Yeah,
tutorial.
dude, I'm not joking. I'm not fucking around. I think she had some pretty good followers too.
Huh. So now what I'm doing?
Yeah, so if you can listen, yeah, yeah. But yeah, so that place was there. I don't know. But yeah, there was a couple podcast studios going on there.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never rented because I wanted to have.
I'd love to have a space. So I live in a 1-bedroom place, so I just
Yeah.
use my living room. Same
Yeah.
as this.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I would love to be able to set up like a studio solid where it's like this chair's here, this chair's here. It's the same angle every time. Like I try to create the same thing every day.
And someone come to my office. It's
Which this is great for, because you could do this anywhere.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool.
Move it around.
It's just the table that's in front of you.
Yeah.
Like that's so handy. So you got this for like $8.
Yeah, it cost more. I think it probably cost them more,
More
to
to
ship.
ship?
It.
Yeah.
I'd say it came right from China.
That's cool.
But yeah. Sweet.
Well, man. Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, buddy, for sure. That was sweet. Let's do another one soon. But you're gone for now. Where are you going now? You're going to Kicking Horse?
Yeah,
Or
Kicking
no?
Horse, and then there's a new stop for the Freeride World Tour in Georgia.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and I've been wanting to go a long time. Last year, those first 2 events in Andorra and Spain had to happen really quickly because
Right.
there was bad weather coming in. So they did
Yeah.
the one, and then the next one they're like, we're doing it in 2 days.
I remember that. I remember hearing that. Right. I know.
So then I was
followed a
like,
little
well,
bit.
I'm in Europe now for another 10 days, and it's going to cost me $2,000 to change my flight. So where am I going? So I was either going to go to Engelberg in Switzerland, because there's a really awesome mountain there is awesome, and there's a great hotel called Ski Lodge Engelberg.
Yeah.
That's a really cool like hub for the skiers in town. Great food. They treat like myself, like ski media and skiers really, really well. Good rates.
Yeah.
So I was either going to go there, or I was going to go to Georgia, because I've always wanted to go and see this, check out the snow. And
Right.
apparently there's a few people there this year. I think it's going to be one of those places that kind of grows a bit.
That's cool. That'd be
But it's
sweet,
always
actually.
interested me. It's always interested me. I actually, those old Anthony Bourdain shows, like the No Reservations and stuff.
For sure. Yeah.
They've actually taken that show and just cut the audio and made it a podcast.
Oh,
So
wow.
it works. So I've been
Yeah.
listening to it a bunch, and there was a Georgia one the other day, and I'm like,
Wow.
So anyways, I
That's
was
pretty
either
cool.
going to go there or I was going to go to Switzerland. There was snow in Switzerland, and a bunch of the athletes were going to the hotel, so I just
Yeah.
went and had one of the best pow days of my year
Yeah,
last
for
year.
sure.
So it was worth it.
Yeah.
But it's just been on my mind. Like I want to get back there. So now that the FWT's there, I can go, and they'll have accommodation with the tour for a couple days,
Cool.
media. But I don't think I can afford to go, to be honest.
What's a flight worth? Like,
I think they're like $900 or something, which
I
is
guess
super
if you
cheap,
get-
but it's like a 2-day trip.
yeah, right.
It's like you got to go through like Turkey or somewhere. It's literally like 40 something hours.
It'd be dope though.
I know. I'd when I was 18, I was working at this restaurant, my first like restaurant job,
Yeah.
and it was Joy Tomatoes, and my friend Ted was going to Woodstock.
Joy Tomatoes.
Woodstock.
Is that in?
It was in Coquitlam. There's a
Okay,
bunch of them.
Okay.
They're Joey's now. Anyways, doesn't matter.
Okay.
It could have been anything. It's the restaurant I was working at.
Yeah.
And I was talking to my friend Ted about going to Woodstock '99, the one that Limp Bizkit was there, and I was
Limp
like a
Bizkit.
fan of there, and like Metallica played. It was like you know that's what like
The one that caused the riot.
yeah, it was that one.
They burned it down.
Yeah, so I was like gonna go to that,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get it off work, and I ended up. Remember him calling me from like the bus station, and I was at work on the work phone. He's like, "Yeah, I'm like getting tickets. Are you sure you can't come?" Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. So he went out on the Greyhound to New York on the bus.
Wow, that's a mission.
It's a mission. It's like 4 days or
Holy
5
fuck,
days,
On a great. I mean, yeah.
and I was miserable.
Yeah.
I was in like a mood, and I was like, I don't ever want to miss out on an experience,
Yeah.
a once in a life experience. Because I'm going to work some shit job that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. So go to Georgia.
And then, well, this is my career now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right? But I choose it is. But like something
Yeah.
doesn't mean anything. Like,
Right.
but now, yeah, we'll just see. But just, yeah, it's been a tough year, man.
Fair. Right.
Been
Yeah.
a tough year. Everybody's struggling a little bit this year. And, you know,
Yeah.
things are expensive. So it's like I could go, but I'm also at an age now where I'm like, well,
You can go again. Too.
but, you know, I'm also maybe I wait a year.
Yeah.
And I figure out how to do it either cheap or free or have someone pay for it through
Sure.
the Low Pressure Podcast.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
Wheeling and dealing and getting
Yes, that's
getting stuff for cheap or free.
Yeah.
That's kind of the reason I'm doing this show, is right? So I don't have to pay for skis.
That's why most people work in ski shops and ski towns, do things to ski because they just like they need to get discounts and deals.
Yeah. It's great.
Free lift tickets are killer, man.
Indeed. I was talking to someone the other day. I don't think I've ever paid for a lift pass here in Worcester Blackcomb. Like, I think I've gotten a free season's pass every year that I've been here somehow.
Oh,
Either I worked for them or I worked for a company that I'd get one for. Or,
sure. Right.
been pretty fortunate.
Yeah, I paid for one the last 3 years, probably 4 years, but I didn't pay for one this year. I paid for one.
You do you have one this year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, through work.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Is that how you started working at Surefoot? Because Tyler was like, "Come work with us."
no, I stopped working I stopped doing contract stuff and marketing. I stopped doing shit. I was working in TV a bunch. I don't really work in the winters a ton. I had some small contracts, but I was need to get a job. I was going to work.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I don't want to go. I don't really want to do any more like sitting in offices stuff or marketing stuff. And I hadn't done it in a while anyway. I was trying to just kind of take a break from it. I was like, I just want to go do something that I don't know how to do. That's somewhat challenging.
Yep.
And yeah, Ty's awesome. They're good dudes. He's like, yeah, come. They said to come work for them for sure.
Yeah.
So that's pretty. Yeah, that's
They've been trying to get me to work there for a long time.
Yeah,
Sam was like,
pretty
"Come,
fun, man.
Sam was like, come work for me, Marky." I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I'm not touching people's feet. There's absolutely zero chance.
You know what, dude?
He's like, you'd probably break sales record. You sell so many boots.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know I would, but there's zero chance I'm putting my hand on somebody's clammy, gross foot that's just
doesn't
out of a boot. Zero chance.
I thought that would bother me, but you just jump in there. I did it maybe the first 2 or 3 times. But you're like, what am I gonna do? When you had a job, did you ever ski much before work? If you had to work at like noon, would you go skiing?
I worked in a job. I tailored my life in such a way that I only worked in the evenings.
Yeah.
So I would ski every day, and then I'd go work at night.
I work at noon. I'm like,
Yeah.
unless it's dumpster, obviously.
And then you're like, oh, I gotta rush to get here. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for again, buddy. It's great
buddy.
chatting.
Thanks for
That was
having me.
sweet.
It was fun. I'm a little high. I'm starting to burn out a bit.